Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. I guess we're going to talk about Pillage and, a few other things. And let's say hello to everybody. How are you doing, Lady Cat?
I'm just hunky dory. How are you?
Just Andy and Magic Mike
Hi, all you landlubbers.
and Derpy. Are you feeling pretty today?
Yeah, I was thinking, at least I'm pretty.
Yeah. So, alrighty, let's get started with the slides.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. There was an update to the update. The Thunderlord, Thunderclap, and Mongoose Heavy Currents were updated so that their splash damage will affect submerged hulls. Okay.
Who's hitting with submerged
That's pretty
hulls
interesting.
anymore?
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. What's the last Gluttonies? I don't know what's going on with that. And this one is even more confusing. Changes to the audio engine to introduce a minor sweeping performance increase. When you say sweeping you don't really. I just never see the word minor in front of it. Do you?
Not in front of sweeping, no.
Yeah.
Not unless it was my daughter when I had her sweep the floors and when she was minor, but that's about it.
Yeah. Maybe that is what they're doing.
Got a little kid out there playing the piano. Don't know.
I don't know. Okay. And any thoughts on any of these things?
You said okay. Sorry. No.
Okay. Yeah. I am. The first one's surprising. They're both sort of surprising, but okay, we can move on.
Are the changes to the turrets? Does that make it feel like we're getting a new Conqueror submarine?
Yeah, it could be, because I guess we'll get another one in Bounty, and then but August Bounty isn't it supposed to be a flagship, right?
Yeah,
a flagship submarine that can run with your trenchers, with your hell swarms, and your warhounds.
Okay, yeah,
like that would be interesting.
That would suck.
Yeah, it'd be interesting that it's a flagship, but yeah, a flagship for interesting. I don't know, a flagship for a bunch of surface ships, but.
And do we have any? Do any of our turrets even hit underwater?
Well, like 4 more than do now.
Well, their splash damage. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Or maybe people are just using gluttonies and still in bases, and this is to stop that from working or something.
Yeah, it just seems like with with our bases repairing. I mean, what were they using the gluttony to take out the piranha? Because it seems like the gluttony is not going to make it through a portal. I don't know. It is confusing. So could go either way, and we never know with what information that we get. So let's move on. All right, we have the skirmish. We got the calendar. Pillage this week, raid next week, and hopefully everybody's been have their coins or their tokens, and remember to save your next week or this week's chest and stack them both up so you can build the Gladius. That's the prize in the August raid cut and run. So the following week you can rank them up in VXP weekend, which also has the drinking contest and the design diary on how to be a Canadian. So, and the PVE Hall calendar, which we'll talk about more, and Bounty, and where we expect to get the flagship, a Defender or a Conqueror class flagship there. So, all right. And any thoughts on any of that? Okay. Let's move to the PVE calendar. Okay, you'll see something this week. We have it shows in Pillage that we have the Punisher and the Praetorian as our S class. This is I'm just pointing these things out. I know there's some issues associated with this. And then we have the raid and yada yada. We've gone through this just so everybody's aware. Okay, and let's but at this point with the PVE calendar we had Punishers and Praetorians, so just keep that in mind. Next slide.
Trying to get through all this before we ran, right?
Well, yeah, and I just wanted to bring up this. We have the August, even though I usually eliminate BP next week, the following Wednesday, but I'm keeping this in here. August Pillage features a new Everest and Praetorian target. So there's not, the A is in there and it's singular. It's not targets. So just keep that in mind as well. So let's move forward. So this was released last Friday. All right. Pillage. Yay. Let's move on. All right. Now we see the third progression of what's going on with the Pillage targets. Originally, the S targets were for Praetorians and Punishers, and then in BP next week, which was released on Friday, it was a joint target for Praetorians and the Everest. But now, once we get to the day before the event, the Praetorian has been dropped down to the B targets, while I should have changed where they wrote recommended to required. All of these are, at least the S targets and B targets are hull locked, tier and class. So you can only hit them with, in this example, the Everest and the Praetorian. You can't swap these back and forth.
So when did they start requiring? Is that new, or has it always been that way?
Well, there used to be some latitude, but but they always use the word recommended. But it's basically required at this point for you to use those hulls on that particular one. So, so basically, with the S targets, you get a 20,000 for a set. And for the B targets, you get 5,000 for the set. So, and I didn't check, but I don't think you can use the Punisher in the 70 either, right? I think I was mostly interested in the garrison targets. But I think
you likely can't, and even if you could, it wouldn't be a good idea because the 70 is tuned for Dragoons with sprints as the anti-UAVs.
Yeah, but I remember hitting the Punish, at least, what was that? What was the name of that TLC that was originally built for Dragoons, but the Punishers would run right over it?
Let's see, that would have been I'm trying to remember, something red.
Okay, I don't remember, but I think it was to get Punisher upgrade tokens and build tokens and tech, as I recall. So
that was the Judgment Day prize pack.
Okay.
That was Judgment Day.
Okay, and the red Judgment Day.
The picture is red.
Okay, alrighty. So and one more click. It appears that Kix is aware of this issue. They're apologizing for the miscommunication, But the rest of it doesn't make a lot of sense. Based on what I've shown you already. Yes, sometimes things change. And when the PVE calendar was created, the plan was to have the Everest target in September. But that doesn't
Then
explain.
why didn't it say Everest target in September?
What
Well, it did. The PVE.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when
yeah,
it
calendar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
and
PVE calendar. But what happened on Friday when they released BP next week and didn't explain this? And it was still keeping this. It was still keeping up that you could use the Praetorians in the top target on Friday. So I take this with, I have to, say shenanigans on this as far as blaming it on the date of the PVE calendar, because that was, you reiterated the same thing on Friday, which gets me back. Go ahead.
So it looks like their original plan was to wait until having an Everest target until September pillage.
Yeah.
But then I guess they decided they changed their plan probably a week or so ago, maybe a bit longer, to move that Everest target forward and have it now.
Yes.
And tell us.
Well, and then also, and on Friday, though, they acted like it was a joint target that you could hit with either. Remember, we had that discussion. I'm like, well, it probably won't have the ice patches and it won't have this. So allowing the target to be hit by both. But since they're hull locked, this, I understand the PVE calendar was a while ago. But BP next week was, 5 days ago. So I don't understand why we didn't get informed of that change at that point in time.
And when BP next week came out and the announcement, there was an announcement in Discord about it and in the announcement channel, I was confused by it. So I asked for clarification. And that question was either not seen or was ignored.
Yeah, and it brings me, something I brought up a couple of times. I have a feeling that whoever is supposed to be in charge of battle pirates, that's supposed to know everything and everybody else has their job, whoever is in charge of the management of this is off working on another game that they're, a new game. That's my assumption as far as.
Probably a good idea. Because this game's all going to go to hell and everybody's going to leave it. So we're going to need a new game.
No,
but did you say that out loud?
Yeah, didn't I?
Yeah, but we've been saying that for years.
Yes, but as far as it just feels like whoever that person has been given another task, and this has fallen, lower on their priority list than whatever the game that they're developing. Which is, I find to be problematic. So.
Well, it's a problem. They tell us a month ago we were not going to need this till September. And then they tell us 2 days ago, 3 days ago, you could use it, but you're not going to have it. And the day before we need it, that's when they tell us we need it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I didn't even know we needed it until an hour ago when I saw the targets were tier locked.
When did we get the Everest? 2 months ago or a month ago?
Just under about 3 weeks ago.
We got the Everest 3 weeks ago. So what if you missed that raid?
Or what if you decided, based on the information, it said, okay, I'm not going to need this Everest for 2 months, so I'm still going to have to build it during the months between July and August, during those 4 weeks. But it's only going to take a week or two of those, so I'll do it in the second half. I'll do it after pillage happens.
Right, and concentrate.
I'll upgrade my Mutineer for the first half to have a better performance in the TLC.
Seems like
and it shouldn't have mattered because
like
that would have been the better way to actually do it based on their calendar. So it's like if you listened, and most players don't even go out and listen and find information, read forums and watch shows, they just sort of play their game, keep their heads down. But if you actually went and looked for the information and said, okay, we're going to need the Merciless Mutineer upgraded to do better in the Mutineer on the Bounty TLC 2 weeks from now. It's going to take 2 weeks to upgrade that, so I'm going to start that now. Then once that's done, I'll start building my Everest fleet. And I'll have that done based on all the free tokens and the 60 million points I got and the 2 weeks of Forsaken Mission tokens I'm using. I'll have that done just in time to get the Gladius.
Mm-hmm.
But surprise, you need it a week and a half before you actually thought you needed it. So there your planning goes out the window.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're better off not watching the shows or reading the forums.
Yep. Keep your head down, and then you won't have a raid fleet, you won't have an offense fleet, you won't be able to play this game anymore.
Yeah,
this would have been less of an issue.
Do less testing, things like that. Yeah.
This would have been less of an issue if we were still able to use our Praetorians in the top target,
right?
Or if you happen to get one Everest done first. 1 or 2 Everests, 3 Everests will certainly be able to do this target. But a Praetorian fleet that would have been able to do it and it wouldn't be required would have been better than this. People who I did things. I built my Everest fleet that's done. But if I hadn't done that, I'd be pretty upset right now.
What if you hadn't done the raid? What if you said, I can't do the raid?
But then if you didn't do the raid, then anytime you don't do the raid, you're at risk for something like
you're
that.
Definitely at risk. However, you weren't at as big a risk because you thought you'll just pick it up in Pillage. Pillage is the catch-up event. You can work on your mutineers, finish them. You pick it up in Pillage. You got a whole month to build it after that.
Yeah, and you can still do that.
And you still can, but you can't. It'll take 4 times as long?
Well, it's a price for skipping a raid.
Well, our lives don't always revolve around raids.
Well, it's 6 days, so if you do go on an extended vacation with you're gonna have to pay the price.
Yeah.
So,
is the Everest even available in
yes.
this event?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It is. I'm not sure about build tokens, so.
I see.
No, there's no good build tokens.
Yeah, there's no build tokens. So. I don't think there's very many Mutineer upgrade tokens. You wanted to speed that up so that you can build your Everest.
There's 350,000 ones. And I happen to have it open, so
3
for the regular and 3 for the flag.
I'm talking about
EXP. Upgrade.
Tokens.
Upgrade. Okay.
Are there even upgrade tokens for just the regular Mutineers?
Hold on a second.
We'll get to the prize list in a minute.
Okay.
Oh, you probably got it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I always do. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
You're not just a pretty face.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just happened to be looking at it while you were talking about it. So.
Yeah. No. We'll get there.
I'm done.
Okay. It's all good. Well, let's click on to the next one if we don't have anything else on this. We got the limited Gladius weapon, which you can claim 10 of. Nothing to compare it to because the Punisher was launcher based at tier 9.
How about the Tyrant Siege Cannon?
But that's tier 8, right? Or 8.5?
But if you the damage taken, give me the reload time increases to 4.8 seconds, but the damage taken is still very, very close.
Huh.
So I think it is worth to compare this thing to the Dragoon and its weapon.
Well, because we're going to get in the raid, we'll get a standard unlimited tier 9. Well, which I assume is going to be superior to that cannon. When you think?
Well, you'd think, but the Tyrant Siege Cannon has damage of 45,000 and a 4.8 second reload time.
Mm-hmm.
That seems pretty close to the Cabulus Cannon.
Yeah.
And what we've seen is the regular weapons are about 20% worse than their limited versions, which will put the regular weapon for the Gladius just about equal to the Dragoon's weapon.
Okay. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll repair. I'll compare it once we get the. But yeah, it is about 20% less. So What's 54 times 0.8? So it's 45. It's not going to go all the way down, right?
54 times 0.8 is 43.2. So
Okay, so it's actually, in theory, it'd be less damage for the
yeah,
one.
but
If
the reload time's also kind of bad on the Dragoon weapon. So
Okay. All right. Claim 10, and then we'll have another 10 in the raid, and then there'll be another 10 in a TLC, and then there'll be another 10 in the next village. And that's how you get your 40. So
I'm kind of tired of limited weapons.
yeah.
It's the same. It's the same every single 2 months. Here's another 40 limited weapons you need to go get.
Yep. But at least we know, that's where you get them, At least they haven't changed up, how it happens. And so you need to get them, You can't really pass them up if you want to go with the limited weapons across your fleet. At least they've been consistent in that manner. As far as, if you follow the pattern at all, you can't skip any of these opportunities to get the limited weapons for your raid halls. So, all right, let's take a look at the engine. Alrighty. Stone Cold. It appears whoever names the engines for the siege engines is got a little bit of a professional wrestling fandom going on there between Stone Cold and The Rock. That's my guess.
It's a better name than the Cockblock engine for sure.
Is that a name of a professional wrestler? I don't really follow it, and I'm curious what kind of professional wrestling that you're following there, Derpy.
Unless you know the better.
Yeah, that's true. So, as you see, the only difference between these two is that the Stone Cold has twice the ballistic and radioactive survival that the Rock Block does, and probably will only matter, that difference right there probably will only matter until you hit the first couple sets of upgrades for the Gladius. Otherwise, those differences will be pretty much nothing, I would assume.
If it even does, because we have 12.8k survival from each armor type, and the whole will undoubtedly come with an aura that provides some amount of survival.
Mm-hmm.
So I see this engine as a complete flop, to be honest. If you have 5 and can get 5 of the Stone Cold engine or 5 of the Rock Block engines from the Forsaken Mission, this is by no means a prize that you should worry about. In my opinion, you shouldn't worry about getting 5 of these things, or even one of these things.
Yeah, I mean, I still have at least 4 of the Rock Blocks, because I only put 1 on my Punisher fleets because I have the Scorcher Turbine on 4 of them, and I only run the Rock Block on the flak. So I already have 4. So yeah, it's it's not the weapon appears to be potentially more of a must-have, maybe, than the siege engine. It's sort of difficult to plan out without knowing, what the Gladius is. But we're asked to get all this stuff prior to the release, and so we can see the whole picture all at once. Let's move on. Now that we've got the wrestling section out of the way, okay. Now we can talk about what's in the store. As you see, we can get 10 of the Capitalist Cannon, 5 of the Stone Cold. We can get the Everest and everything else that we got associated with it, and everything for the Mutineer. And but there's no. This doesn't list all of the tokens available, but for anybody that's caught up in the game, I didn't see a single one that was useful. Mike, it seems like you were looking at those.
We were looking for Mutineer upgrades,
Yeah.
There-
upgrade tokens.
Tokens. They have kits, but they don't have.
Right, but we need to
I think
finish.
I think they're only available on the leaderboard.
You need to finish your Mutineers before you can work on your Everest, or
No, you don't. You don't need to
Don't
finish
have
your Mutineer before you can start your Everest.
well, you can't do them both at the same times, regardless of what priority you've set on them. It's going to be one or the other. And tokens for either the Everest or the Mutineer would have been extremely helpful. So we could have concentrated on one of them.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's go back up to the target slide, because I think this is the last one for this.
Which one was the target slot?
Target slide is the one that says targets.
Okay.
So there is the point of in most raid cycles, most standard 2-month cycles, you generally build the fleet the first month, upgrade it the second month.
Okay.
We're spending at least half of your second month, or around half of your second month, building Everests instead of upgrading. So it would have been nice, at least I think it would have been nice, to see a few upgrade tokens for at least even the regular Mutineers. Throw 5 of those things in to the store, because this is not a normal month where we don't have as much time to focus on. We don't have as much time to upgrade the Mutineers.
Yeah, and it sort of goes back to my whole point, as far as it doesn't really appear that it seems like there's a bunch of people doing their different jobs between design and whatnot, but it doesn't appear that whoever's in charge is paying attention.
Well, who decided that Everest was going to come a month early, and why?
The Everest target? I don't,
Yeah,
you don't know.
that's what I want to know. So I can write them a letter, a personal letter.
If you've been upgrading Mutineers the last 3 weeks and haven't started your Everest, you are going to be very sad, because you're going to get a new hole next week, and then you'll have to decide if you want to build your Everest or build your Gladius fleet.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Yeah, it really depends on what level you're planning to get it, because if you are upgrading your Mutineers, you're not able to use your FM tokens, and you're going to be forced to use them. And also, they've put out a lot of Everest tokens. I'm not excusing what they've done. I'm just saying if you wasted your FM tokens on something else. And remember, in the raid, we had the opportunity to claim up to 10 Mutineer tokens. So,
Mutineer?
I'm sorry, Everest tokens. So you've had over the last couple weeks 6 days, 12 plus the 10. And then depends on how much you built them when they came out. You've had a lot of fast build time opportunities for free, between the FM tokens and the Mutineer tokens that were.
And honestly, I'm in good shape. I'm going to be fine personally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more worried about other players in my alliance that are behind and other people in the game, because I see this as a point where people just get fed up and leave, and that's my biggest concern.
Yeah.
That they'll just say enough's enough.
Yep. And Lego's bringing up that they might have spent them on the Piranha, which they're probably regretting at this point in time. So, but it was based on the information that was available and was provided.
Exactly.
Didn't look like a bad decision at that point in time. So, Derpy, are you interested in hitting the 135? Unless he got eaten by a dog.
I think he's got a.
I think you got eaten by a couple of dogs. I mean, they do like beef.
Yeah. That's That is a possibility. So, because that's what I had planned for this point in time. But
And I just finished one and taking repair here. It doesn't mean I can't hit one. But if he doesn't come back in a minute or so.
okay, well, yeah, if you want to get that
I
ready,
just did one set, and I figured out what I did wrong with that Punisher. So I didn't tank it.
okay, yeah, yeah. If you have one, anything available, because I'm not sure what happened.
I can. I mean,
Because
I can. It's just repair
that'd
time.
be getting devoured by wolves at this point, based on what we heard.
Okay. So 135.
Well, let's. Why don't you try? Which one has less repair time remaining?
One's 19 minutes. Well, wait. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just pick one.
19 minutes, probably instant.
No, because one's going to take the flag's going to take 2 minutes of sit time. The rest of it's probably instant. But
Derpy will be back by then.
No, he's getting devoured by wolves.
Oh, that's right.
So,
well, I can get 4 of them.
we'll do this. Do this.
Matter.
Do the siege one first, and then we'll, if that works for you.
For the show, it doesn't matter. Anything will work. Okay, I got to put them back in the slots. Just give me 30 seconds here.
Mm-hmm.
But while we're doing that, I've had an empty dock for 3 days, like a stupid idiot, I will call myself, because I thought there was some kind of a hull coming out in this Pillage, which that I would need, which was a mistake. So I could have been doing an upgrade on my Mutineer or my Mutineer. So I lost 3 days on that stupid thing. So I'm going to be sticking the Mutineer and tonight, because I don't have anything to use it. And I lost all the tokens because I have full tokens and full chests.
Build a piranha. Oh, you don't have one.
I don't.
I bet you wouldn't want one. So.
Yeah, I don't do that. Okay, the siege one. All right, coming out. That's the 132, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I got to share.
Yeah, that would be.
That would be slightly helpful, wouldn't it?
We can just hear some clicking and whatnot. And,
yeah, it would be helpful.
Yeah, that would be.
Well, let me close all my porn.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Let me know when you're ready. And Derpy, if since you didn't get devoured by wolves, after Mike. Yeah, he's back.
He's a better driver than I am, so you can make the call. I don't care. I'm on the water now, and I am sharing.
Yeah. We'll hit the 132, and then I'll have if Derpy's not too injured from his fracas, we can have him hit the 135.
Okay, go right in.
Yep, I have you all screen shared.
Okay, should be working.
This is a target we've already seen, so.
Yeah, and the mistake I made the first time is I ran it stacked, and that's not a good idea. So you want to use waypoints, obviously. And if I remember right, I had 19 minutes coming in. Now this routing, there might be a better way, but this is the way I do it.
I don't like this target. I don't know why. I mean, it's not difficult. Just
It's not fun anymore.
slow. It's just slow and tedious. And
We only have to hit like 100 of those if you don't have your Everest fleet.
thanks, Derpy, and welcome back. I'm glad you survived.
I
Did
don't know
they?
what I survived, but I heard something about wolves.
Yeah.
Actually, it's more like 40 of these things. Nope, it's 80 of these things.
40 wolves, 80 wolves.
No, 80 targets. 80
And-
targets, 5,000 each for 400,000 total. You get all the new things, which is
Yippee.
80. I can't imagine. I went. Well, I mean, who has time?
that flagship there is doing a lot of wiggling action back and forth.
That I put a wiggle mode in mine.
I think
Are you
it's a
trying to
girl.
dodge some of the damage?
Put a girl in
Activate-
front, so the guys in the back could follow the wiggle.
Oh, you missed one.
That doesn't normally happen.
You're doing good though, Mike.
Yeah, doing most of the target with some amount of waypoints it's a really good way to do it.
Calvin, I'm with you. I'm with you. Even when I have the time, I don't have the inclination.
Yeah, I don't know. I've gotten all the limited things the past
If you run
3
this,
or 4 trips.
if you run this target stacked, you're going to get like twice the damage, if not more. That's what happened to me.
I have to play this game in so many bits and pieces between work and everything else that I don't even care anymore. I'll just run it stacked, and when I die, I'll put it on repair and go do something.
Yeah.
I'd rather hit one target, auto or stacked, easy driving, just one target, take 2 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours damage or whatever, and get a boatload of points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. This grinding. I mean, we got to be high end. Well, I don't know if I'm a high end player, but end game players, whatever they want to call us.
So
it's not easier.
I had 19 the first time, so 13, 14 this time. Whatever.
Yeah, you did good.
So
13 minutes damage. That's nice.
Did all right.
Now, I might try some of those with just my flagship later.
If you want to try, I can do the 135, or you can do the 135. It's not the best driver.
I can do it. I opened my game for it, so.
Okay.
Now, back to the other target. Would you do your flag on a single flag on auto on that target there?
Yeah, I would. I'd try that. It worked well in the past. I remember. So.
Okay. Good. I'll try it too.
It's probably going to be like half an hour damage. So if you do what Mike just showed and drive it well, and then go back in base and repair, you'll do better. But again, I don't want to hit 20 or 40 of these targets or whatever it is.
Yep.
Okay. You're on screen. If at least wait.
Someone took my target.
Okay.
How dare he?
Go ahead, his face.
He's in my alliance, so I can't. I could leave.
Drop tag, yeah. Drop tag and hit him.
Yeah. That's not the Forsaken mission. Pillage.
Yeah, see how many sectors away you have to go.
Just 20 seconds worth, so that's only 1 or 2 Draconian Uranium bases away.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but it loads more of the map and slows me down and stuff. And there was one closer to it that this guy's in now that was... The locator doesn't make sense.
Nope, it hasn't been working for a while.
It doesn't work on things that are...
I don't think it works on anything.
Does
it work on the 120s and 121s now? It doesn't seem to work around.
It did last week.
Oh, it didn't last week. Okay, because
you watched the show?
They fixed it for a little while, and then but it seems like stuff that's near the SS that spawns around the SSRB, it's never worked for. Okay.
Well, starting out here.
One I like to call the 190 because it's sort of an upside down 160, right?
Yeah, because I guess I should give a general overview of this target while I'm killing the Hellstorm, which I had to do immediately because it shoots at you right as you engage the target. You've got 2 Brimstones. This looks like an exact copy of the island. from the second half of the from the back half of the 160, and then the front half is a little bit different, but still fairly similar to the target. So I started out, killed that first one, and stayed within the mountain was blocking the remote target range.
Okay, so I didn't know that the mountain will block remote targeting from
the Hellstar right here, or the Gore Saber that's hiding underneath the clouds.
They snuck that one in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very
Actually,
tricky.
there's two. Yeah.
There's one right here.
Yep.
And then one lower down.
Yep.
There's the Gore Saber here, but then there's another Hellstar hiding.
Anyway, I killed it the first time I went in.
I killed the second mortar cluster right here, turret cluster, again out of range of the brimstone, which I just hovered over. Anyway, what I like to do is I like to drop a small pinch on this first one, and you don't quite get there in time because of the ice fields, but it does seem to reduce. I almost went in range there. It does seem to reduce the shots fired by this thing by 1 or 2, and then you have to crawl through this ice field really slowly. And if you do get close to this thing before it and it does fire at you before it unpinches, which it did that time, you have to unstack so you don't take as much damage if you want to drive fancy. So if the projectile lands, which it didn't.
Fancy driving down.
What were you saying?
Can't get that fancy driving down. I was trying to make a macro to do that, but I forgot how to do macros. It's been so long. You know what was good at that is TSM. I wonder he's not on. Okay.
Probably should have killed this Hellstar from the position I'm in right now, so the remote targeting was blocked by these 2 mountains. I've killed half the target and I've taken no damage. But some of that was luck.
But look how slow it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought when we were briefed on the Everest, we were told that these ice fields wouldn't impact us.
Right.
They sort of don't. They don't reduce the reload.
They slow you down.
Yeah, which is that a huge deal?
Well, if you're trying to come within range of these long range missiles or long range missiles.
Yeah, if you're taking fire.
Yeah, you're taking fire the whole time while you're being slow.
So what I did on those first 2 turrets is I only let myself shoot twice or 2 or 3 times before I moved away, so that I didn't take any extra. So I didn't splash kill the other rigs, so I could kill the entire back line here from far away.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be dependent as far as your specials and the number of weapons you have over countermeasures.
Yeah, as well as if you're running a crew, you might deal too much damage, or if you have the different special combination, will be different. Here, you could use another pinch if you wanted retreat or something, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just 1 hit. And again, trying to do a little bit of fancy driving to kill that brimstone and stay separated.
Why are you separating all of your ships as opposed to just doing a flat a tank?
Because this thing shoots at the ship with the highest health, which is...
okay, that's a good point.
The first shot will always come at the first ship in range, but then by the time you have all 4 in range, your highest health ship might be one of the back 3 ships.
Good job.
So there you go.
Okay.
Damage taken, about even, explosive and penetrative. If you have higher projectile speed, like high velocity rounds, you should avoid all explosive damage. Penetrative damage. If you get really lucky, you can shoot down all the brimstones. 14 minutes damage, 15 minutes damage.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so looks like
Mine was like 28. But
My first one was 29.
But I didn't do any of that. Well, it's probably, I might be wrong. It might have been 28 and high, but same kind of thing. But I didn't do the moving them around. I just
I
left.
guess I should show my build for people.
That'd be good because I got something different. I thought I had the same build, but I wasn't.
And you went with combustion system over explosive 4 because the build time or the addition of the splash, because it has lower projectile speed slightly by like what 5%.
Yeah, I did that for the additional. I didn't really care about 5% projectile speed. Maybe I should have. At this point, I'm not going to change it because I'm happy enough with the repair I have. But I did go for that one for the larger, so I could hit things further away from the initial target, increase splash, and increase spread.
Yeah, and the other reason, especially if people are scrambling to get these done with how the news has come out related to this, the combustion system does have. I think combustion system is like a 5-hour change refit, while the explosive 4 is like 10 hours and change or something like that. So it is twice as long to put on the explosive system. So, splash does more than projectile speed, in my opinion.
Well, in my opinion, projectile speed is the single most important thing in this target.
Yeah, because it deals with the, for the countermeasures. For the children.
Yeah. Like if I was building from scratch, I would go with high velocity rounds. But I don't think the difference is big enough for anyone to change from what they have to something that works 50% or that reduce your repair time by 10 minutes. I don't think that's not worth it to me. If it's worth it to you, good for you, but it's not to me.
Well, yeah, and whether you're going to have to change it back because of the if you need to change it back because you can't use the high velocity rounds and the K2 at the same time because of the building damages don't stack. So if you don't jump to the assumption that the K2 they just whoa why do we give them this was a mistake, that something is going to come out. I don't even want to guess anymore, but when it would come out, but something that's going to boost the projectile speeds of our ships. That's going to be easier to deal with than HVR and allow you to use those younger ships.
Yeah, like if I were Kixeye, I wouldn't want to increase the projectile speed anymore in these targets because that would steer people more towards using high velocity rounds and RFX engine and even explosive 4. If I wanted to allow more build variety, I would give us an engine or upgrades or hell even armors or something that increase projectile speed more, or the flagship and have plus 50% projectile speed like the Merciless Mutineer flagship. Do that, or just you tweak the mortars on the enemy Hellstars to make them uncounterable, but then lower the damage accordingly to force people to take more damage. There are a few things that a designer could do with this target in mind.
So other than you're not having armor and I do, that the build is essentially identical, and I must be driving differently, but I don't splash out like you do.
You have to. I mean, I've got it every time.
It's probably just
crew.
Yeah, it's weird.
If you get too close, your projectiles will kill it earlier. If you don't enter all 4 at the same time, I mean, maybe if you don't get lucky on criticals or something, but
it's every time. I have yet to take that whole second portion out. Like I think you know which one I'm talking about, right? You come in, you kill that
Yeah.
first. I'm talking about the FM target. So you come in, you kill that first one, then you move off to the left, and you splash out the vulture, right?
Hmm.
But it is what it is. Okay, just confirming for myself that it's got to be the driving. Okay.
Yeah, and Ligo's bringing up
Sure.
the flag. I think the flag and then the engine, because the engine, it doesn't feel like we have the right engine at all. Like strike systems shouldn't be, because it's a missile engine, and then you have RFX, which is tier 8. Is it tier 8, tier 7? It's an older.
Inferno Dragons, even, I think.
Yeah. So, yeah, it definitely feels like we don't have the right engine at this point in time.
Because the RFX is plus 50% mortar reload, which is great. Strike System 5 has the projectile speed, which is okay.
Is it explosive reload or mortar? It's explosive reload, right?
It's explosive reload. So
Yeah.
if my problem is if they just bring out a copy paste engine that is that's like the even the new thing, whatever that one is. If they just give a 6400 survival, that's going to be worthless. Like, who would use an engine that has this for garrison? Also, why does the V42 rock block say it's tier 9?
Because the next one is tier 9.5.
Okay, and the Everest is a tier 9.
That's the one we got with Punisher.
Yeah, and so if you just copy the tier 9 and make this engine garrison, no one's going to use that. Or people are, but it's not nearly as good as RFX or Strike System 5, either of them.
Yeah, but I'm thinking something similar to bonus. Yeah, because it's the difference between these is quite large because it has explosive reload of plus 50. The bonus combat speed is 70 versus 105.2 for Strike System. And then
does speed matter in this target?
Well, if you're trying to close the gap between you and some of these long-range targets, I think it does. Are you getting fired at more because you're that much slower, closing the gap between some of these, the really long-range missiles? If you're, basically going close to half the speed, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, all right.
You are still using Hyper 30 that does have combat speed, so it's not quite half.
Yeah, because you have the 30% speed increase.
You got Hyper 30s on yours too, right, Turpy?
Yeah, I have Hyper 30 on mine.
Yeah.
See, I tested one. I mean, I built it using that engine just there. And I tested one ship, and it sucked. So I tested a different build, and it sucked. And then I tested your build, Derpy, with one ship, and it did the best of all three. So I chose your build based on just one ship.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it worked. I think it's going to work best for me. I can't stand it when it goes slow. You need to speed it up some.
I put the link in the right-hand side in case anybody would like to join the show or the after show. It's there and available. Is there anything else that you want to hit?
Just the amazing TLCs we have this week that are super useful, and I'm definitely not being sarcastic.
Yes. 18 minutes, no crew in the 135 for Ben.
Ben, which engine did you go with?
Was there anything else that, because you mentioned earlier, Derpy, potentially wanting to auto the the 135 with a no. What did you want to auto? I forgot.
Yeah, the siege target.
Oh yeah, the Punisher. I could put that on in the background.
Okay. Because I think we're pretty much out of. I don't know. Does anybody else have any questions or comments or whatnot? And again, the link is there in case anybody would like to join. Because I'm out of topics.
I'm looking for 132, aren't I?
Yes.
I guess you could still do the trick if you wanted, where before you start the battle, you go up on this top bit, right? Or was that fixed?
I don't think they can fix that. It's
it wouldn't be an auto then.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be auto, and I don't know that it helps.
I don't think it helped that much.
No.
This is going to take a little while.
Yeah.
Put on Death Crew and have it go faster or something, but
Lego, I did not do well on the shipwreck. I got some points. But
I was. Any idea about how many you got?
50, 60,000.
Okay, that's a couple days of build tokens for some.
I picked up some Conqueror tokens and some 3-day defense turret build tokens. Didn't get any chests, didn't get any skins.
I got
tokens, but yeah, what'd you get? Everything?
No, not quite. I didn't have nearly enough for any of the skins. I still even didn't get any hell swarms, and I think I missed out on one token for something, but I had fun playing the event. Probably spent 50 gold on it that I definitely wouldn't have if Kickside didn't give out free interceptors.
Where did you fall on the leaderboards? Did you get any leaderboard prizes?
There weren't any leaderboard prizes, but I did finish top 100, which is probably a first for me.
Good job.
Yeah, I guess they could have given out leaderboard prizes, but I had fun in that event. Different new way of playing Battle Pirates.
Yeah, I had fun at first, and then it changed. And even with the free ships, I didn't know all the ships, so I had to learn them and the different strategies of using them. And when you compete against other players that have the skill now, see, when it first started, nobody had the skill, so we're all even. And now you've got players that have played it during Bounty and have learned a lot. Plus, you have alliance members that work together. And my alliance did a few points for us, and I'm very grateful. But it wasn't the same as when it first came out. It wasn't quite as fun. And I'm not very good. I saw those people that killed me now. I also didn't like the clouds. And I did see alliances using the clouds to gain advantages to hold up the target, which was supposed to have been fixed.
The clouds are an NPC combination. Is a really weird mechanic.
It was really weird. And it surprised me. The first time somebody used it against me, it really took me by surprise. But it bothered me when I started seeing alliances using it to hold targets longer.
Because you just need to have one guy going with one interceptor and get some damage off that, and the other guy the guy who keeps the target stays in the cloud in the bottom right, and he has the whole target for 5 minutes. Nothing you can do about it.
Yep. The next guy comes in with another one chip.
and those things are like an 18-minute repair time, and you have 5 minutes in the targets, you spend 13 minutes repairing, or just go through your 8 ships, or 18 free ships you got, and
Yeah.
on 1 or 2 alt accounts, and you've got a whole A6 shipwreck locked out for the whole spawn duration.
Yeah. I didn't watch long enough to see if they did it for the whole time, but I saw enough. So I don't think that's fair. But nobody said Battle Pirates was fair. I think I saw a lot of people give up that tried it for the first time.
Because if you have no idea what you're doing, you just stack up, and that's your first mistake, and you've already lost.
And you don't know, or you move towards them not realizing where all the ranges are for all the different fleets, and some are hard to tell because of the skins. I mean, if you got all these fleets for the first time, maybe you knew the first few, the frigate and the corsair and stuff, but if you're getting all these new fleets and you don't know all the skins that are out there, you don't know what these fleets are, you don't know what their ranges are, you don't know, do they hit from the front, from behind, from the side, where do you need to be to get out of their way? And by the time
And you spawn on top of a Bloodwing, and you...
Yeah, that happened once too. When did that start happening, shipwrecks? You used to spawn far apart from each other. When did we spawn on top of each other? That was new to me.
And then you get a couple ships spawning on land. I put in three or four sport tickets on that, and I actually won one of those battles with one ship on land. And I couldn't control it, so it wasn't a perfect event, but it was for a few people, it was fun. And a lot of fun and free.
Yeah,
well, not free, really cheap.
It wasn't. Yeah, I remember when shipwrecks was fun. So I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Just, I wish more people had. It was pretty tricky at the beginning.
Hey, KB, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. And yourself?
Okay. So, anything else?
Well, I wonder if they'll pull old switcheroo with the raid targets, and surprise, surprise, we need a different ship than the Mutineer. Or is that only the Pacific mission where they pull switcheroos on us?
Don't.
Only the Pillage,
Never
rather.
give
where they
them no
pull
ideas,
switcheroos.
Derby.
Yeah.
Surprise, you don't get the Gladius next raid. We're giving you we're changing the ship around, so those 10 cannons you got literally are useless.
Yep, we're starting a new class.
Semi-submersible.
Yep. U-boats.
Well, we don't have any targets that are for buildings that move, so I think we need a new whole class for moving buildings.
Well, it's
and
like
ships that are stationary.
mega ships.
Oh God!
I mean,
your second mega ship next raid.
that's what you described.
Well, 31 minutes with just the flagship. You could get 3 or 4 of those in, 5 of those even.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you did
spend 2 hours repairing.
Steelheads or
Creeping Death or something like that. That'd be good. Or one of those Dragon Slayers.
What about Molotov Maiden?
Does that help with radioactive?
It doesn't help with launchers.
Won't help launchers. Okay.
Yeah. It's not really splash. It's, Okay. Well, if we don't have much else, I guess we can wind up. I don't see any new announcements, so I don't know. I guess the recommendation is, make sure try as you can to get the new weapon, the whatever it's called, the Capulus cannon, and
As best as I can tell, Capulus is something like graveyard, stone, coffin, something. I tried to translate it. It didn't.
Yes,
It
well,
wasn't. Didn't make sense.
As long as it's not copulous.
oh, it
yeah,
is now.
Although Kix has a tendency to do that to us quite often.
With the cockblock engine.
The rough end of a pineapple, usually.
yeah, it can be a
Which end of the pineapple is
anywhere
the
between
rough
the
end?
hilt of a sword and a genus of snails. So I'm thinking they probably are going for the hilt of a sword as far as what they were going for.
KB, which end of the pineapple is the
The
I'm not
leafy
sure
end.
which
The leafy end.
I'm not sure the blunt end would be any better.
I don't know. We're gonna have to save that one for the after show. I'm not sure if KB is gonna do a
Just
walkthrough
know
on
when
the
you
different.
try it, Derp.
Yeah.
Maybe drink for next month is going to include pineapples. I just know it.
Mhm. I know that pineapple beer was a big thing in South Africa because of they decided to eliminate alcohol sales, so people were making beer out of pineapples over there for a period of time.
Well, we do have that pineapple skin for the Mutineers, don't we?
Yeah, I had it, but I had to take it off because I needed to be able to see the red. And that little hibiscus flower on there was kind of pinkish red. Like, my eye kept being drawn to it.
Oh, so I'm using I'm using this one, the one that they made for me. I can only assume because it's my colors. So maybe I should change to the all black one.
Yeah, I changed because of it. But the other problem is the front of the rum punch. Go back to your rum punch one. If you look at the front of not that one. Go back to your rum punch.
Yes,
I'm on the rum punch.
he's there.
Well, click on it so you can see it big. The nose of that is a lot bigger, and it hides. It goes over the line when you look at it in your dock. And when you're hitting targets, that was just annoying. So I had to get rid of it.
Yeah, they have. It's that's one of those things because historically we've had several skins and even base ships at one point where they're like the sprite is they need to be standardized the sprite size because it spills over and you can't tell how much damage you have in the dock because the nose of the ship is covering that up.
Well, look at the nose of that ship versus the other skins. You can see there's a difference.
Well, it's not even the nose. It's just the size.
Well,
Yeah. Change your skin to the rum punch one, and you'll see what I'm. And see if he was damaged, that whole portion right there, you couldn't see like basically 45 minutes of damage because of it's larger, it's longer, it extends outside of the box.
Well, it always causes you to select the wrong bloody ship when you're trying to move them in and out too. Quite often you get the ship next to the one that you want because they overlap into the bays.
Yeah, that happens very frequently with me, and even like with a gatekeeper. If I try to select this, like if I try to select just, I'm going to click right about here on the hitbox of the second one, and that's going to bring up the first one. Like it's just a very large hitbox that if I put this right by a turret, I can't click on this drag scatter until I move the gatekeeper.
Yeah,
No,
it
because
feels like an easy
the
thing.
ship is hanging over the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems so easy to standardize. So, alrighty, I guess we'll wind up for the evening, and we'll see y'all on Friday when who knows what we're going to talk about. BP
Well,
next
do you
week.
have a drink contest?
Oh, is this drinking? Let me double check the
I don't know what
slide.
time it. I don't
No,
know what time
that's Turkey VXP weekend. So
that makes sense. Well,
Yeah, next. All we have. We have the August Raid strategy guide. Should be
the exact same as the last raid.
well until they decide that it's now a it's a garrison raid.
Oh yeah, our Everest. Mickey's our Everest in the raid. Thank you for that enlightening information.
Yeah. So but I don't know. It'd be nice if they told us in BP next week and not wait till the actual raid briefing to drop that on us. So So everybody, I wish you all the best in Pillage, and we'll see you all on Friday. And take care and feel pretty.
good night, all.